But Ken, to be honest with you, Obi follow football biano, and who he has a make a the current PSG team and the current Spurs team, no. So, analyze between these two clubs, you know. Unless say on person be kind of crap, PSG for no was saying Spurs.
But Spurs say better preseason champion PSG.
Agreed. By say get fair between Spurs and a PSG bobo there or what through say a PSG team no. Let's not forget
Thomas Frank have friend Enzo Maresca na. On na kasa.
I mean
because some in our London ho.
Omo nyina ho.
And just so friend Enzo Maresca na or je tactics kakra.
But one thing is say ubetima friend by personals na Enzo Maresca use we be na was Spurs na. Ubetima free coach no say Enzo Maresca no say PSG no. Name Chelsea players no they say PSG no enu bi na Spurs ekura.
Say Richarlison be Pedro ayi. Jao Pedro. Na Kudus aye ye fa say Cole Palmer. Na hwan bim.
I don't know say a different profiles.
Okay.
So ubetima je plan no by oma ubetima use so execute no. Omo to say Chelsea for na. And the reason why I can make us a PSG for no show ni say PSG team under Luis Enrique akrekro hwe football kran mu how mo fa so si o makan the core of the team eda so ho majority of the players na da so ho enti omo style ni omo bibia no eda so ho a ya mo nkose sane oma bebre ba wo check Spurs boboko na last season na Postecoglou na e wo ho obefa boboko no ode omo ebo attacking football possession football omo biem omo wo sha omo mpokra na omo defend. By this time around, Thomas Frank ebefa Spurs boboko no. Obi bi a wa check Thomas Frank ne former club and obefa Spurs omu preseason ni nyina no. Time bia no omo ye reserved. Omo etimi protect omo box e the final third. Omo defend ya. So under Thomas Frank, ya show omo preseason omo ne Bayern, omo ne Arsenal. But it seems say omo ye more of a defensive side kakra. Enti so be kai omo game against Bayern boboko na papa ne be ball Kudus abaso because or see Kudus say timi eba na chibe defend because time your person mu protected the box and without James Maddison on say Spurs boboko no mo say the near classic number 10 from the central midfield area betima create dia mom so majority of our attacking channels no omo the far wing so no mo de akwa hwe Kudus mu and infinfi on impokra no and nam say omo ni a classic number 10 and say obi a oya attacking midfielder no eye Papisa eye Palinya and a Bentancur. These are midfielders are kin. Omo be destroy, omo be winning balls, na omo distribute, no omo carry balls no. Enti ade a ye expect Spurs for na some be na say, omo be try some be protect your box. Then omo ye quick in terms of omo attacking move no. Na Kudus mu individually omo metimi ameki enyo omo dey. In fin ho there is no way say Spurs for ni betimi a control game ni better than team and friend say a PSG midfield on because Spurs any side technical and skillful midfielders na on bit my side and the only thing on bit my near say on be the Chelsea way ejuma na Caicedo ye ejuma na Enzo Fernandez mo ye because Palinya with that ability wo ho Papisa with that ability wo ho then again Bentancur so with that ability wo ha or also making sure say infinity ho no on the kind of that physique combativeness no any say aggression be infinity but you know can no be can football there. It's all of a movements kakra most especially a cup game no by say o kind of cry unless say obeka say who deny the fact PSG for na a favorite so be winning. Mami move on to air transfers no. Said your kind no Tuesday no meeting e course for Manchester no. Emwa ye de ama Ruben Amorim. Say Ruben Amorim de. Wa convince Manchester United in penny for ne say Carlos Baleba ne de on e ya agyenkwa. Ni team no oba be hye no. So no Ruben Amorim ni nya Carlos Baleba no wonfinfin ho na obosa two deep central midfielders obo Bruno no abo Carlos Baleba na Kunyamo ene Mbuemo mu na Benjamin Sesko ma Manchester United team no be compete or the data of Carlos Baleba ema Manchester for no the reason why obe fete ono Amorim system ama Manchester penny for na ye convince so Tuesday meeting e course no onim de ekosi ye de ekosi ni ye say Manchester United in penny for no I promise Ruben Amorim say ekwan bia so say wo so munya Carlos Baleba ba Manchester no benya so Tuesday meeting e course no omo kohye mu kena edema Ruben Amorim say ekwan bia so omo Manchester United mpanyifo ebe make sure say na kra na wo se onya na Manchester team no ebe yeye no ombefa so eniam edinaba enti omo promise Ruben Amorim omo wie ya na report ne kire say omo frɛ Carlos Baleba agency no ana omo afrɛ omo from no omo ka kire omo say e ma boy ne nsesa na adwen no omo Manchester United for ye ready so ombe convince Brighton for no enti Manchester United for him penny for after so mo promising Ruben Amorim Carlos Baleba no omo sa frɛ Carlos Baleba ni agency no ma ka cho mo say omo nya abotrem fa mo Manchester United for no omo nim de omo ye enti e ma boy ne nsesa na adwen so Tuesday meeting e course so e Manchester United nakin e promises galore ana e course so ache say omo promise Manchester United coach Ruben Amorim ana eye Carlos Baleba agency ne say e kwan bia so Manchester ebenya deal no that's the reason why your story no say oma sanction sa deal no for eye Ruben Amorim nti e be hwede e wa akosie na papa e friend said deku ken na kwantu no otuko Brazil no wankoye adwuma ama Barcelona for na eye ne personal staff na owo akwantu ni ma no ana onya akọ based on story na free Spain ni ba no ana omo friend say onya quick na ne personal holidays na okọ wo Brazil no ontwa so non return no mbra Barcelona no mbe share Hansi Flick because in hwehwemu na ba to dwa second yesi Inigo Martinez call ye no deep down Hansi Flick enye too happy with the center backs na aka no onse so far akapa ukubasi Ronald Araujo Christensen Eric Garcia kunde di ose so ye right back 84 center backs na aka no yesi deep down after say Hansi Flick elusu Inigo Martinez no na waye ne plans ni nyina for this season around Inigo Martinez and Pau Kubasi as the first choice center back pair enti abrante ne coin na hiti coach no e ka ho na ma ba sampanyifo aka che de ko se ontwa ne holidays no so ntem e wo Brazil no mepiem wo e Spain no ne Hansi Flick mbehia se possibly Barca betimenya center back bi di aba o kai se no ambeka cho se Musa Sissoko awofa Upamecano e di ama Barcelona bobuku no enti yesi problem na aba ni nyina na nka Barcelona for decide say omo nsan center back but yesi Hansi Flick hu ni say ne center backs aka no Ronald Araujo Eric Garcia eye Christensen ne Pau Kubasi no e wo so onya ba ko bi beka ho enti ye hwede ba ko sie e wo sa meeting no Arsenal for aka che AC Milan for say Kiwior no omo pɛ no omo de omo ye ready to sell Arsenal for no so omo ye ready to sell na AC Milan for pa eye 25 to 30 million euros the last time e be catch us say Andre Beta our no sporting director Edema Arsenal bobuku no ekosia Rafael Leao ano ne boy ne kokasai Emma Arsenal decide say ankomu diska ana Kiwior ka ho akwaje Rafael Leao ana AC Milan for reject sa deal no AC Milan for ni pe Kiwior Arsenal for catch them say 25 to 30 million euros so mbetimenya ken afere confirmation ni enya ba se kwaku adel say Manchester City Pep Guardiola finalize say as it stands now no specialist our right back enti or the players me say din na to just from the bubble right back this season Jody kan Matheus Nunes John Stones ana Manuel Kanji enti 3 players we Pep Guardiola say ho omo ne bebo right back ono onko fa specialist bia emba on say na omo ko Livramento ana Newcastle for obo mu 80 million pounds enti they said there is no right back obeba Manchester City Manchester United ne Chelsea for a crunch meeting bekoso meeting e bekoso ni nyina no eye between Chelsea ana team friend say Manchester United eye Garnacho ho nkomo ana omo kwotwetwe ene Chelsea ene Garnacho ewie personal terms akase Manchester ni Chelsea ebewie baby a Manchester United for ni gina ne hwa no mu gina 50 million pounds for Garnacho team a your friend say Chelsea say omo ntua more than 40 million pounds enti ene meeting e bekoso no eye between Chelsea and Manchester United for Garnacho Manchester gina 50 Chelsea say omo nko about 40 million pounds ye ba akotwan enwumre de be free meeting na se be bia no ye de beba Galatasaray for so aka kire Arsenal for say omo expected bid before say week ni be kwa wiye for Abrante friend say eye Trossard Galatasaray for communicate akire Arsenal for before say week ni be kwa wiye no omo Galatasaray for the omo official bid e de beba team friend say Arsenal for Abrante eye friend say eye Trossard na ken metesa na wo ye Giovanni Leoni hu adwuma akra na je se wa ho Italian Serie A ya ka so bi ye modern center back o ka hu bi osa o 18 years the next 24 hours I da ye nim no Liverpool ne Parma ebewie for Giovanni Leoni o ya akra kito a wesi so e wo Italy a che se center back row no all body ni din na Juve epe na Inter epe na Napoli epe teams akesi ni nyina na wo Italy no the next 24 hours Liverpool ne Parma reports na free Italy any Liverpool aso ye ba ni nyina kire say omo bewie ye si fee ne ya around almost 30 million pounds Parma be say nya 10% sale on clause so in case say Liverpool say ton akra na Parma be say nya 10% ewum oba be sign contract to 2031 Ediama Liverpool boboku no into the next 24 hours no on betime wie bibia say the ekwa anim pa no e ya about 90% done Giovanni Leoni be sign Ediama Liverpool team no Liverpool for say omo pay 2 center backs and sign a transfer na be wie omo wie Giovanni Leoni no aka Magei die no na Magei die no 35 million pounds na Liverpool for the coin no Crystal Palace for say omo nje say Liverpool cry the 45 background na omo enje say iska no enti Liverpool say before that transfer no be kwa wie no aka 3 players a was omo ba Giovanni Leoni Magei and Isaac we 3 players a Liverpool for expect to say on be wie before that transfer no be ba ewie Galatasaray the omo second bid Man City for omo goalkeeper Ederson omo first bid na 3 million and Man City say bi o made di o matem say no Galatasaray for say omo prepare omo second bid Manchester City on beji around 20 million euros into your head yes bid
Ederson say 3 years and ya bia
oh there be set 3 years say bi Man City ya adwen
yes o match ni mu nso nyina wi
oh there be say bia na na say compare 3 million there be na Luni nkra beto ne say enti we dey end Man City for ne ya adwen 3 million there be
isa
na o striker Mateta Newcastle for ne ni abre no so on say akwa ye Nicholas Jackson Newcastle for nso se hu ne say time na ben enti wo so munya striker wabo Premier League na obai adaptation ye problem enti Mateta de no en commercial ase ene omo se na wotwe omo the official bid ebeko na wo ka Vinicius Junior de no sankamenya sa video na ni agent na omo yi ni free Rock Nation no Tata Suarez papa na wotwem ne ye friend Tata Suarez
okay
on Madrid for week we no meshia 2 times enti ene meeting no okoshia Jose Angel Sanchez ye CEO Edema Real Madrid bobuku no Madrid for na catch Vinicius ne Tata Suarez say simple so wanti ase no when renew a obebo season we awie owie o beton no so simple
Madrid for decision
no
on beton
say when renew na ye bo season ni wie na still say Vinicius you renew a omo man
sika no mo fa bi nka ho
de bi omo de bebi omo gina no omo gina
me da say
enti na Ken me no wie no ma me nko wie wo Barcelona
but you na fasi mame
Lewandowski adwen ya asesa Saudi deal no story as see me say kan no ye say enu anwumre oni Piniza have di nkomo onso ma communicate a Lewandowski say on be manage the time no because of the age no Lewandowski nso so penisa enti ye say na adwen ya asesa onya yo beje Saudi deal na tum
so ko Saudi
by Barcelona for nso won say time no so replacement be ye issue
o man e pam no Barcelona who hears catch Barcelona Barca hears ka ya dia o obekwa won ko na o mokran je o musika ka
so kwa never before no some person ba na Manchester
da bi say Ferran Torres or na Marcus Rashford
to say season way obvious see a minutes in mo Lewandowski obebo be 30% of the games obebo crucial games it is quite obvious say
games akese no mo de bebo
exactly proper goal scorers obie no to Lewandowski but one Hesika oji she say we Frankie de Jong there no crana she say back to normal no the highest paid player
they saying
oh say they over 20 and would you want to pay player or your highest paid player now what just 30% of your games are now and yes on koje story the baby a free bano and I'm who say omo lie omo pay omo pattern no and it makes a lot of sense maybe a buy na eko na asanso aba Ken enra me ka kire wo say issues wo Barcelona na manfo adwen wo ball no so enra manga enam nkoye meeting say board of directors nanka say na ekoyi ombotom sika e dey register play enra me ni weni san komo no okay somewhere adwen you Inigo Martinez Abraham ton na asame no mbeka kire wiase nyina ana so mo ma na akọ no asame no mbeka say you create space for them to register players. And yes, sir, if the Inigo Martinez leaving no will create space for Barcelona to register players, sir, why is it that meet na koso ama penny for na ekose was guarantees? Chale issues day. Now sometimes it's difficult. And I say, what can the finances are so much? But now say people are so much into football. No, who chemo on tia so bedrin say, ebia what the club no anabi. But clearly, the past 3 years, it has not been easy. But Laporta no on him grounds it looks like everything is right. Yeah, best start window na me catch us send your name and CK Kakono. Laporta the Nsabeka senior players nibi. Our supporters na happy. Bako any Inigo Martinez. And I want Lewandowski the so. Say the Etienne say Barcelona needs to clear the wages. Wages no so. That's the harshest reality.
Don't sacrifice Lewandowski.
50-50. But clearly still na sacrifices na so ye. Ye liver ye ni go free was still. Ye go so ye per sacrifices. Na me the bigger problem is say in the nearest future, see me, in the nearest future, whoever becomes the president of Barcelona will suffer. Because still Barcelona Dachi and the dear leavers no. Barcelona TV rights are betting a Dachi no. Ya ton mo be 20% e de my company Jessica. Inti ya ton Dachi sika Barcelona be ya ton o. Barcelona Studios ya ton 25% initially. On sa be ton 21.5. Into and also so what ton Dachi sika no mo je ne ye ka livers na. Dachi sika no ma je ne. Including me no ka say stadium aye ba be si VIP seater. O metimi ya ton afi bia be nye sika no. Ya ton Dachi de ne e ji sika ne enne. What I say, just to make sure, say everything will back to normal. Me say,
I don't know Laporta and Cano Crench supporters, no Cano Crench player. Your team no.
Ken Laporta
because our 1:1. And say 4 years in you.
Ken me Laporta no. Dientia e hono me ne ya adwen kakra ne say ti o. Ebetimi aba se ko ba ye no an ko the 2 years beto wo say Barcelona supporters me sremo. Baby a club na edru no. Me compete 2 years. After 2 years, me get Barcelona back to normal. But no question pa woman say supporters nan sias ye da. Me what? Imagine say if Laporta had taken over no say 2 years here, no competition. Ti won say Champions League who Barcelona won leg na bia no make di bear for na fifth. Still supporters won't be happy. Into the oil say all compete while still finding solutions to the finances. So far I say it has been good. What I say? And 100%, but maybe over fire, any baby or the club he's doing well. He has done well. And I think say projections ain't bad. But the reality is say we kimu. Niemani bebre wo I was semping for the TSC de mom. And nunti Anna Spotify company board of directors ni be say yen train next year. Laporta said Dabi. Esasi yen because ye yeska. Until now they are looking at Spotify company say and when we am paying for be gia to mama abobo 1 2 and they say na was say place no titru stestagen de no La Liga for no pass the mom miensa VIP seat no maton a La Liga for no ntiase no and so so ye miensa into omo miensa ni nyina to ma he is good to go but omo nyanjin tumu ya ba be start league into was so head and ye ya yemfa isika nkosi awawa Entira. Inti chechire mu ni nyina ani. Yanto aswe.
So my yibima.
Oh, enye yibima. We dey enye yibima.
I'm say we yibima na.
We dey say enye yibima.
Enye yibima. Board of directors ko jiji skade ko ya enye yibima.
Enye yibima. Say board of club ni sika na.
Ah, okay.
Enye yibima we dey enye yibima. Enye yibima ato. So we sipen. Na say papa ya odini sika oni Rafa used the emre bi om sika ye registration. Say no.
Omo ya no mo je omade.
Na ken on vanche. Ken made us say na yen twas we na ye bonkom here. I think say there's a disturbing trend bia as I say PG4 no stopping as soon as possible. Neymar a kwan of fast free PG na enya kono. A kwan Messi e fast free PG nei Messi on person beti PG credit enya kono. Ekwanya Mbappe FRC free PAG enya kono to the extent say court krom da so sisi ameno ka say. It looks like trend be ya da ho say star players need free PAG a de bia issues wo. Donnarumma issues no. It has not been explained well. PSG should be very careful about their image. Tio, Donnarumma the agent na eyemi no real anyame fa ne kransie ye. Very strong agent. Oko negotiate here. Now Donnarumma was one of the highest paid players. Goalkeeper 12 million those time. What I said because that time na kura ne ba no. We say that clubs and kese pe no na koma PSG for. Ena Donnarumma ye na dwuma. Say clearly nenye last year na mo person mo pam no because ball na ujafo da na enye. And on started so picking from no more contract negotiation. Listen to this very well. And the PSG force say your financial fair play issues. Say no crazy say no krom wasam. Inti boy didn't say that kid so 12 million. No man be 9. Initially boy is on tiase. Season ni ko nanim na PSG for FG wo mani kra. And echre boy ni ko catch through the agency say Enzo. Ko catch am say okay, ye beti ase, ye beda. Ye be gisika no. Ye beti aketu aso na yabo. Okay, no problem. Ken, say boy not say say obeti na ketu ase so automatically you just sign him. PSG for name fee and also okay twen. Ya agreed ya umbeti yenka. Club World Cup here ye and say Enzo sounds so call reminder almost say what's up? Boy no contract aka 1 year. Mon fa hwe maye. Ya ti ase mon fa sika na mra. Almost munyang bo che ye Club World Cup na. Sana coach no any penyifo na catch him say no. E so mko fa goalkeeper for bra. Lucas Cavalier. Now this is the reason. You see Ken, coach and the decision is solely on the coach. And tactical reasons. Throughout the season, also I catch the boy and say, the ball distribution on him boy a passable. Just say, what the ball the man one simple pass. No, the ball on you be a passable from the back. It's normally he goes long.
Jenna, a question if you go post to him.
A one in it you say no, a one I am
because you tornate money in every go.
Coach in a say, saving is important to him. But he needs a goalkeeper that can save and can also pass the ball from the back. Into so nkomona say Luis Enrique no. Where say Champions League na waje dia ma PSG no or authority or kasan kupenyifo ni tie. Into so open the goalkeeper say Donnarumma wo che ball e mo ball ni sim bebre. Any time will be an obebo ball ni sim. Time will be where say pass the ball from the back. Into ball ni improve one or improve ye. Two ne say ose Donnarumma wapa on say Donnarumma it think as you 6'5". Now watch this. Say corners eba ose Donnarumma entem pepi ka obi a so wade ball ne ba ya no akoso but ball ne ba ogina ho inti wa complaining several times and a boy him fan no say akwa mefa ho adwen inti according to the coach he says that he finds that attribute in Lucas Cavalier into open that boy instead of Donnarumma. Say what's a boy no kwenti Luis Enrique decision strictly inti that's the reason the boy is leaving. Anything I don't say nipa baaku fo bi na also ompe no coach ne se mempel o style no why ade de nemom I want a goalkeeper that will pass the ball from the back and now PSG for year training na coach na goalkeeper nechi na we an interview say this year we are going to change a little bit about how we play na Mr. Kaish esu. Until Donna will have to leave. Now my problem is that he's coming to Manchester City. City is also Pepe. Until I don't know why Pepe are too bent on getting him. If maybe Pep wants him to at least maybe I'll bet you one or two things. Maybe Nini now Pep. Okay, me see Rashford. Come on kakra. Na bakubi okan for Manchester United. Hono interesting me ye pass. Manchester United over the years. Team no obia cancer Manchester United in transition but the question pie woman say also transition Manchester United didn't start here it's waste yes ni na you can't say United transition na why ye gu kwa also so be transition you need a plan then you stick with your coach nti sad in Manchester United in here na you saw example be say Jurgen Klopp no oba Liverpool sticked with him. And no ye juma na man for Jurgen Klopp abra no on Manchester City for April League forgetting say he also started not doing well. Okay, this is my opinion. First of all, Jurgen Klopp example no coach bia per time I know I refer to Jurgen Klopp no I think people are not interpreting it right. a easy example and for tie na it burst my mind. Say you can club buy or sansa until doing well. It is a lie. You can be taking off from Brendan Rodgers last season. They say we all know what happened. And I am going no D8. And no pono or boy Europa Cup final. Sevilla and Sheno. Till the following season, Liverpool and what Champions League. The next season of what Champions League or call final. Till into Jurgen Klopp was not doing well in the league, but in Europe he played in the Europa Cup. Sir, 2 seasons after, about Champions League finals. But people don't talk about it. It's an easy way out. Jurgen Klopp, now Liverpool league. No, they're forgetting that Jurgen was doing well. Okay. Say the conversation about Manchester United and a coach I am sticking with him. No, Ken. Say you can say Simbi a transition sir. Now or appoint a coach for transitions. Now, if you appoint an established coach, you can give him time. And then, so for Pep Guardiola, or for Carlo Ancelotti, or for coaches, nipa do na nim so mo proven coaches, or kasa man time, you know, say all them run the manual. Why you be that or you proven obeti. Now, that is not where Manchester United always say because he decided to go for an inexperienced coach, Ruben Amorim. Okay. So what for inexperienced coach Ruben Amorim to say Amorim nkomo ya yedia. Okay. Time no I was so merity. Onyendru Pep Guardiola mo dia na you can afford to say Pep Guardiola last season about 15 games, 12 games, we know we winning one because you know so you proven. Coach way Onyendru ho into SSO on one can some merit in the time no by doing what? By starting and winning games, by starting and making us see the progress. Because they be American say, "Ose yema umra." Now start say first 10 games now we lose. You cannot merit that time. Yes, we understand. Manchester United want to start transition with Ruben Amorim. Already, you didn't kind at the time be that anchor 15th position in the league. To stick with him. He needs to do well, start well. Let us see some be process now. Let us see some progress in the process so that we know, okay, you are doing well. Then we can say, Manchester United are doing a proper transition into which we stick with the coach. Like example, Chelsea, Mariska, Mariska, the oye, and the oye. You can say, okay, Papa, baby. Why? Because he's doing something. You are seeing it. Clear, you see the process. And I say, I don't know, there's a progress in it. Let us see some Ruben Amorim. Then we can stick with him. And not just by saying it's a coach behind him. It is a lie.
Okay, Adelson on Amorim and Marcus Ralph for the interview, no, and I went to come on, but Biggie, Brian, I Jim Komo Kakra.
I can UEFA Super Cup, Basel. Sir, what is a UEFA Super Cup? Basel now he teams me no mobile Shiana, Paris Saint-Germain and Tottenham. Definitely, it didn't about 3 minutes over to me. I win no first out trophy, no, Paris Saint-Germain Bobo Koro. But Tottenham, on the other hand, the coach, Thomas Frank, had a very difficult task and a point to prove. A very difficult task because, again, so here a Jumana Ange Postecoglou, Mejitum say he wasn't one of the best managers last season, Neman Kuya and Famano. But in the first season, we make sure, say, obey improving the Tottenham team, league log and so, any pair points, and or qualify for the top 6 last 2 seasons. Last season in Yaman Konkai, I'm Farmer Papano. Now you moved to a few and come say out on the Europa Cup final. And after went to me and J Trophy Noah. Nanka Tottenham Bejana Kwamanako. But after so Baba J Trophy no, a woman so the 15th, a league log and so. But Otibi Baba J Trophy no, or 16th rather. Otibi Baba J Trophy no man, Nipa BGD. A man be no madrin almost say, and come Bejana on Mama Natana. No, I hear Jumama Tottenham. But still, in Penifoni decided on Bemanako. Tis all Thomas Frank. Now be fair Juma. The previous coach I have done a man call a G Europa Cup and so ye pamo noa. As I said, catch your say Juma now about Befanaken, a Juma din per year. Et ye no, Edda Thomas Frank team. Thomas Frank in the Premier League born home or day. Our Brentford. But when you switch a carpet, every Brentford will do Tottenham. Everything you've done our Brentford, no stays at Brentford. you are now coming to build a new legacy for yourself. Ewo Tottenham Bobo mu. Oba be share Luis Enrique ono so guso o chase records. O chase records because Paris Saint-Germain Bobo they haven't gotten to this stage before. And this wa baba be duru ha. Oba person obeje Super Cup ne dey ama PSG. Oje de mo aken. And fa one performance will be full for be baba be dine history any bibia. I remember those who did it first. Into on that note, a very difficult game at the Tottenham Bobo Kono. But I am first official games biano games for newcomers. Into players nibi wo hono mo ni pe baba be show mo na ya hwemode mo a mo be dan na de. Obi ti say Lucas Cavalier. Last season per save rate French League animal as a goalkeeper. He was the best. It is a yes Donnarumma nko. Na wo bra be da goal post ni mu e fa ma Paris Saint-Germain Bobo Kono a. Obi e baba be hwe say goalkeeper na ye Donnarumma afiri wa mo no na baba be dem no. What is he bringing on board? Because Donnarumma performance say last 2 seasons I won't mean in one dance here. Last 3 I won't mean in one dance here. But last season he was one of the reasons into PSG AJ Champions League no. Na so mu just such a goalkeeper kwan ni abefa wo Cavalier. You have to perform well to send signals to the outside world and the supporters of PSG say you are in to stay now baba be born home modern. In 51 for Paris Saint-Germain they are missing out on João Neves. João Neves amema hwe no e Paris Saint-Germain team ni mfimfin. One player. I feel he's the best tackler for Paris Saint-Germain in their midfield. Say yenye dirty job. Team ni mfimfin honom. Tackles ni nyono na gina ne so. Mfimfin ho. And no more may say out on him. Wine Emery's aye be baba be shame. But Pauline and so baba be gina as a defensive midfielder they are Tottenham. Pauline baba be gina mfimfin honom they are Tottenham. He's also a new player of Tottenham Bobo Kono the first official game. Into also be person will be prove a point. But the question is that bisu man ni honom no onu ye okay with the midfield. Oni o maba. But coach and say akwada na tie late into a free squad nim. There's a new player in. But you compare him to the midfielders of Paris Saint-Germain. It's on the first official game they also prove your point, you know. Or she are one of the most difficult midfielders in the world. And it makes it difficult for Paulinia. But as I say, ye Bibi Maria then our own Mohamed Kudus. The first official game.
And the man of the match.
Can Empire Union aye bonono.
Na be football dey kan say. Pai bobe. You be yire no ho abobo kama. Ananya no ano.
Always.
Pai body an e ba say obi mpra.
And only
ball no body. And there say wunti memo.
Oh, no kura toda say utimi nya good day luck ne ba. Siw so utimi boja good game. Etimi bomb by say luck ne be.
Me won is obeye ayi ho adwuma.
Nuno Mendes.
Obeye ne ho adwuma papa.
I was so ye. Because if you are Tottenham supporters and they count on him. Human song ni hodom. Oko. Richarlison is injury prone. Brent Johnson is a good player last season or but consistency sake, Brent Johnson didn't do on him. To show you Mohamed Kudus. Near the more than 50 million pounds before say be Tottenham team anymore. Supporters in a show. Say omo captain any human song ekono. Omo baba be new star boy we any mu na.
Say Brent Johnson a share winning goal against Manchester.
Europa Cup finals on
a big boy.
And I make us say for consistency sake onyan do honum. Onya good season last season. Last season he was Tottenham's top scorer. Into the performance they are bad. But so consistently ubetimi aye no. Ubeduru suru ho no problem. But how to maintain the status when you get to the top? That is where the problem is. It is for consistency sake. Omubeshe Mohamed Kudus as an experienced player compared to other players there were anymore honum no. Richarlison you good, but onu no injuries crumple man kwan. It is a human song ni honoma. Na Mohamed Kudus aba. And especially looking at performance at what dynasty anytime he played in the preseason. Ana enye that bad no. Omani beba no so. No mani ababa be dan so betimi bibia momo. It is a difficult task. There was a Thomas Franke and say kwa chele do betimi dia ma Tottenham into the new season. But me placing me better. I am going to go for Paris Saint-Germain Bobo Kono. Possibly a 3-1 win.
And then area or Tottenham.
Okay.
You see in our space.
Okay. Me the best support Kudus name me feel say PSG be win.
And space be share.
Okay, yeah.
Space share PSG dia. As a Kudus here heavy.
Say Chelsea aye bi nti no. Paris Saint-Germain nya invincible. Nti no mo so betimi aye. The hand some be yo mo niam aye. Kenam Liverpool. One team we talk about the kind of spending so my. But Liverpool has also done one good business. Like some good business is transfer window we mo. Aton ton certain players are omugusumpo epeso omoton bi e ba ne ton no team ba kwa enim so ya de pa Chelsea me bo Chelsea abaso on that score But Liverpool, looking at the money they have spent, around 396 million euros. And Sika Omato and so around right now, around 196 million euros. Into clearly, almost certain good businesses. Now, one player in the Diababa Betoja, say Liverpool petrol torn on so. Costas Chimakas, the left back. Previous seasons for Liverpool, and they debutized or not. Even last season, and one of the worst seasons for Arnold, they will Liverpool on the debutized. Until Arnold having a bad season. Now you're the deputy. Now one team and put up performance. A bit me about 2 Arnold. Not still throughout the season. On the bomber Liverpool Bobo na. Then clearly they catch a minister or more money or from.
Chimikas what on Aberton base.
Can Liverpool looking at the market.
Chimikas they say 12 and 15.
Oh, from Dodo.
Oh, sir. Chimikas they say 12 and 15.
It's a 20 normal.
20 years also.
Can I do so? Market way.
Chimikas they on your heavy, sir.
Oh, on your heavy.
Okay.
On your heavy. And it's that make us say, player a friend say Robertson, a performance last season. That's a stone how poor he was. One to me and mammy to know. Clearly, when you are rivals scammer, next I won't necessarily Malcolm because Milos Kessa is about possibly on the best starting. And the Liverpool Bobo now. Robertson now went to me and to know. Ababa the deputy. Until I will make you wait for other players.
No, maybe sir Edison sir. For Lanveti by Obi anka no hwasem. Akwani sika so mo de kofa no nyiska ketwa. Asa when freedom pa, when you free.
Freedom.
There been some Obi anka na asem. Liverpool bo match be Obi.
Yeah, time the proper season has started.
Sir.
Of course.
Now one kai your friend say
Haaland na.
Nunes ne Holland no. Pre-season na e hwe Obi a say masa we ontimi mo we beti.
Haaland got the community shield in the chassis pa.
Papa.
Yes.
Okay.
But can at least I think say for a year on only the end yeah train my proper season na chassis. Na kakebi on Manchester United. A woman say Manchester United here defensive midfielder. But per reports are Urban Ken. Decision be taken in the be a channel be to a hoka. The fact that United needs a defensive midfielder. And she say United them find the Sikanyina and Konkoto defensive midfielder now okay. Because decisions you want to take financially under Ten Hag and no affect Manchester United transfer window way. United in penny for say so mo beto bale bampo na future consequences beba financially they don't care. And I feel it is going to be a very bad decision. So mo decided to mo be yes na mistake no mo ya under Ten Hag no. Any to mo be CBM.
Me that say Biggie